Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here, and today what I'm bringing to you guys is a brand new video on what to do in the Mutations update, or the top priorities that you should have in the first few days of this update. So going into it, kind of the things I'm focusing on and that I would recommend you guys focus on in order to be at the top of your game. Now, only around 20% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to the channel, so if you guys could do me a favor, go down below, drop that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and let's jump into this one here. So the first thing is going to be, of course, getting up your expertise to the brand new cap of 600. Now, as you will be able to see on the left side of my chest plate here, this is actually at 611. That is because I've upgraded this with the Umbral shards, and so once you get to the new reachable cap of 600, then when you use Umbral shards to upgrade things, that is when they will progress past 600 expertise up to 625 with the gear score of the first item that you do, and that will be, of course, then the max cap that you can get. With the max obtainable cap is 600, and for that, you should always be gunning for it. You can see I've got my helmet done, and I've got my legs done. I'm 2 points off with the boots, and 2 points off with the gloves, so then I'll be max on all of the armor, which means that I can unlock the usage of the Umbral shards. If you hover over this question mark, it says the maximum expertise you can obtain from enemies, chests, gypsum casts, and crafting is 600. To increase your expertise past 600, upgrade an item slot with Umbral shards. So obviously, like I said, 611, it matches the chest plate, because I've done that with my Voidbent one to test out the resistances and such. Seems pretty good. Again, you also get your perks leveled up a little bit, so you can see my invigorated there is 7.6% and my resilient is 4.9. On the helmet we've got 4.8 resilient and 7.5 on the invigorated, so it's certainly worth doing. It does level up your perks as well, which is good, or increases the percentages of them. Not with the luck seemingly there, we've got 2.8 on both, but the rest of them it has done, so this is going to be something that's really important. Also, when you get further up the mutations, you will certainly need this soon. You know, 590 doesn't cut it after the first couple, and then once you get to 600, that cuts it to maybe 3 or 4. Then you need to be on 605, 610, etc. So you're going to need to level these up. Obviously, you'll probably do something first, like I've done the chest plate, but then you will need to even out and do them all. So getting these all up as quick as you can is going to be the main priority here. Now, obviously, you do get crafting bumps as well. So if I was to go into here, for example, and craft myself a nice Orichalcum Great Axe, once I do this, if I produce a 600 gear score one, because my stat right now for this is 583, that would actually bump it up. You also get bumps from, obviously, the gypsum casts as per you did before this update, and you also get them from random drops around the map as well. You know, your elite zones, your chests in expeditions and elite zones, and random mob drops as well. It can bump your expertise up. Is all just the same as it was before, but now you can get the brand new ones going to 600. Now, the next thing here is going to be gathering yourself a mutated set. Now, as you will see, I've got a lot of items in my inventory after running some of these mutations, and they come with things like Angry Earth Ward. They come with Abyssal Conditioning, which for me right now, I don't know if this is the same across the board. I've seen a few people with this one. Some people saying they've got different, so let me know in the comments what mutation you guys got. But we've got Lazarus Instrumentality on our server with the Void, so the Void mutation there. Now, this is really good because obviously it does drop the Void Attunement and Void Conditioning, and of course Void Conditioning there, or Abyssal Conditioning as it's named, is after you get hit with Void damage, gain a 4% absorption for 5 seconds to Void, and each piece of armor with this perk on stacks, so you can get a 20% absorption once you stack it on all 5 pieces. So start to build up a set if you can, if you get a really good piece. This one's really good, has got refreshing Divine's Embrace. However, it is intel, so for me, I've kept it to sell, but I'm not going to be using it myself. I got a decent Warhammer right here. You guys can see that just under the camera. 30 strength, Sundering Shockwave, keenly fortified and enchanted. Really good against Ancients, so I've been using that in Lazarus. And of course, you know, if I can get another one that's got maybe Ancient Bane on as well instead of the Sundering Shockwave, that might be really good. But of course, Sundering Shockwave is really, really good for bosses. It's always just good to drop on mobs to kill them quicker for your times. So there's pluses and minuses to most things now, and it does make you min-max the sets a lot more. So if you are able to get hands-on with some of this stuff, start creating a set specifically for mutations. Personally, I've been going around with some new gear, trying to try out a mage build. So you'll see here that I actually have some stuff in my bank, such as these legs. I've gone for an int build there with the refreshing Pillar of Fire, and then we've got int and nullifying Oblivion here. This one is basically going to be my Void Gauntlet Fire Staff build, so I've been saving up that set as well. Not the best for the Void mutation, but that was something I prepared before the update, and now I'm starting to build on it as well alongside my main set. So I've kind of got a couple of things going in preparation for next week's mutation or the one after, etc. So you always want to be thinking about building up a really, really good set for PvE so that you can clear these quickly and get all of your gear up that you want to past level 600 when you get the expertise. Now the next thing here is going to be to start clearing these mutations. As you can see, I've managed to do a couple of these, and it tells you in the top right corner, you can see it above my camera here, your average gear score. So mine is currently sat at 594, and it will tell you the recommended gear score. So for example, when I go into the third one here, it tells me my recommended minimum gear score should be 606, so I'm pretty low to do this expedition. Now that's really helpful because that lets me know that these mobs are probably going to do a lot more damage than they should do to me, and that is potentially why I'm finding it difficult. You can see the first one we tried, we did okay, we got a silver. Second one we did a lot better, we got a gold. Very good time on this one. And yeah, we probably would do okay on the third one if I get my gear score up, but right now it might be a little difficult. So maybe I want to go back and do the second or the first one, or try and clear the third one at bronze. It's kind of a toss-up between what you want to do. Obviously, you need silver or above to progress though, so maybe it's worth just trying to build up some of that gear when I get the expertise up on them. And yeah, basically what you want to be doing is starting to clear some of these, work out what you need in your set, work out what you've already got, what's good, and work out kind of what builds work specifically for that mutation, because they are on a weekly cooldown, which means you'll have this one for another 6 or so days at the time of recording. So obviously you'll have these for a fair amount of time, so building up a set for each one by the time it comes back round to a similar rotation, or at least the same elemental rotation of a mutation there, then you'll have a good set to combat that mechanic, which is going to be always a very good thing. And with that then as well, we know that we do have the 4 different types of elemental mutations. So obviously Void, like I've got currently, and I'm assuming everybody's got the same one. Then we've also got Nature, Fire, and Ice. So again, building sets around those, linking back to the first or second point there, is going to be really, really good, because you're always going to be able to use them every time that rotation of the certain element does pop up. Now what you will see here as well, obviously on the rewards section, you get told that you get the regular items from whichever expedition it is and the Umbral shards. But you will also see here, if you hover over the 37 difficulty items, these obviously change depending on which difficulty you do get to. But of course with that, what they will give you is scaled items to your gear score, and these have specific things on, such as the Abyssal Conditioning for the Void one, or on the weapons, the Abyssal Attunement, so it gives you that extra 15% weapon damage as Void every 2 seconds. Now, on top of that, the most important thing from these is the craft mods, the Hollow Armor Shard and the Hollow Weapon Shard. If you are lucky enough to get these as a drop, keep hold of them. They are going to sell for a lot, but you're probably going to want to put them on a set, because these things are very, very good. If I show you guys my Windswood Bank and we type in Hollow here, I did actually get lucky enough to get one of the Armor Shard drops there, so I've got the Abyssal Conditioning. Now this is really, really good, because building a set from this will be very worthwhile for these expedition mutations, as well as in PvP, because Void Gauntlet obviously is a thing, but also if people do get the Void Attunement, I'm then going to take less damage. So starting to craft a set for PvP around that is going to be super good. So if you do manage to get those drops, especially the attunement ones for the weapon damage, it's going to be really good. Try build a set with it, try build a weapon with it, armor with it, whatever you get, and you will be ahead of the curve with those early doors. Now, following on from that as well, you are going to need a lot of consumables going into these. It's going to be things like your stat boosting food, so whether it's going to be your carrot cake, you know, your roasted rabbits with seasoned vegetables, whatever the case may be for your consumables that you need for your class, make sure you get on them, either make them or buy up any cheap ones, because these are going to continue to skyrocket. You certainly need the stat boost going into these mutated expeditions. Even the first one is very, very difficult, so you're certainly going to want them. Obviously, then you want your basic food as well. You want all of your different pot varieties, so you maybe don't need mana unless you're casting. I'm healing, so I've got all 3 different types. But you certainly want the health and the regen pots regardless. You also then want your honing stones. And here's something that I've picked up, is the strong gemstone dust. The powerful one is ridiculously expensive right now, because people are buying up the gems, people are buying up gemstone dust to craft the keys. It's all gone a bit mad, at least on my server, and I would expect that that's going to be similar across the board. But grabbing yourself some strong, if you can find some, is really, really good, particularly if you get trapped and locked in an animation and they use an ability on you, or you get one of those little pops underneath that do a big burst of damage. If you manage to pop some gemstone dust when you get trapped in something like that, you will actually more often than not be able to survive it, which is really important, as you do take respawns as a time knockoff for your run. So obviously you can go down there, and even if you don't have a respawn, it does slow down the DPS of the group. So having these on you is a really, really good idea. And of course, with that as well, you want your coatings. So for example, for Corrupted there, I've got corrupted coatings. For Lazarus, you want an ancient coating. If you can make infused ones. If you can't make infused, there you go, there's the ancient one. If you can't make infused, make the tier 4s. Just get something that will help you do extra damage, because every little part of this will really, really help. And of course, with that then, you also want to make sure you've got your trophies active. If we look at the trophies menu quickly here as well, I'll show you guys that it's got the Ancients combat trophies, at least the second tier ones, the basics. The tier 4 or the major ones can be quite expensive, I'm aware of that. The drop rates for these are pretty low, so the chances of getting these might be a little bit slim, but at least the second tier ones will really, really help you out. Second tier to the third tier actually is only about 1% or 2's difference in terms of damage, so just having that second one is still going to be really worthwhile. It's not going to put you down too much from the third one, but if you can get hands on for a decent price, certainly grab it. But for me at least, tier 2 basics are really, really good. And then finally, just have fun with these updates. It's a brand new system, it's a brand new thing that's come into the game. Of course, there are a bunch of bugs which they have made a list on, all of the known bugs, all of the known issues. Now with that, I will be covering that very, very shortly here on the channel to talk through with you guys what you think about some of these bugs, because they've listed things such as dodge cancelling as a bug, which I don't think it is. I think it's a fluid movement thing that I like in the game, but you know, people have different opinions. So what we'll do is we'll make a video on that and talk about it another time. But yeah, of course, there is obviously bugs and issues. Hopefully they get fixed shortly. But enjoy the game however you want to play it. If you're not onto the mutations yet, get yourself up there. They are a ton of fun, worth doing. And especially the first one you can do at 602 gear score. So if you've got 595 plus, you're pretty much good to go. And yeah, they are very, very fun, so I'd certainly recommend it. Try get some nice drops, try get your Umbral shards up, try get your gear sets made, etc. And enjoy the update for what it is. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, a few tips and tricks and pointers on things that I'm doing. If you guys have got any suggestions of your own that I didn't mention in this video, be sure to leave them in the comments below, as I'd love to see what you guys are doing in this brand new update as well. Like I said at the start of the video, guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do go down below, press the big red subscribe button with the notification bells on, because I do upload brand new content every single day, and I would love to have you guys here as part of my channel community. And other than that, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching, thank you for your time, and I will catch you again tomorrow with some brand new New World content. Take care, guys, and peace.